So, what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from Team SamRX1 here, and today guys, I'm coming at you guys with my budget-friendly Monarch deck profile for you guys today. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. So guys, I'm really excited to showcase you guys this deck profile. For all the budget players out there, this one goes to you guys. This deck is absolutely amazing. It's super fun. And for those of you who are actually recently starting the game just now, I would recommend you guys picking up 3 structure decks of the Emperor of Darkness structure decks as soon as possible, because you guys all know how locals are. The higher the product is in demand, the more expensive the product is gonna get. So basically, if you guys decide to go to your locals now, if your locals has any left of these structure decks, you can definitely find these decks from $10 to $11. But of course, I've seen some locals raise prices to even $15 per structure deck. So no more. 100% sure you're gonna get these structure decks for $45 for 3 copies. But if you guys are lucky, you can get each copy for $10, even at Walmart or your local Target. And even some locals won't raise the prices at the moment. So if you guys can have a chance to pick up these structure decks, I would recommend you guys picking up these structure decks as fast as possible. And of course guys, this deck profile is only going to include the cards that are in this list right here. If you guys can see, let me focus on that for you guys. There'll be no other cards that are not in this list. So every single thing that you see in this list will be in this structure deck, of course. So basically, I'm gonna grab 3 structure decks and make a budget deck out of only those 3 structure decks. There's gonna be no outside cards such as Maxis or Effect Veilers. It's only strictly gonna be on the cards that are in the deck list right here. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. So all you guys need to build this deck list is only 3 structure decks of this deck. You guys do not even need an extra deck at all, because you guys, of course, obviously play Domain of the True Monarchs in the deck, so you guys do not need extra decks at all. So that's what's really good about this deck. This deck is super budget friendly because you don't need an extra deck, and all you require is literally 3 copies of the structure deck, and there you guys have it, the whole entire deck. And I'll show you guys this deck profile, and I'll explain to you guys the reasons why I play some of the cards. And this deck's actually really fun. I actually been playtesting this version a lot. It's actually super amazing. It's fun. It kind of reminds me of old school Monarchs as well. So this goes out to all you budget players out there. I hope you guys love me for doing this. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started with this deck profile, guys. So start off with the monsters, of course. Let me focus the camera for you guys over there real quick. Sometimes, you know what, it has an autofocus problem. And the reason why I actually don't want to put it on autofocus is because you guys tell me that it makes some annoying noise. So I do read your comments. So I was like, you know what, now I gotta do it, manually focus it, because the camera just makes that noise when it focuses. And of course, look at that. It also comes with a token, which is absolutely amazing as well. Look at that. Look at that beautiful Kai's token. The Kai's Shadow Balls token. So without further ado, let's get started. And of course, guys, first we start out with the big monsters of the deck. We're gonna play triple Erebus and triple Aether. You guys all know what these cards does. You guys will get these as soon as you guys buy triple copies of the structure deck. These cards are absolutely phenomenal. These cards are the big boss beaters of the deck. So basically, Erebus and Aether have similar effects where when they're tribute summoned, they get to send 2 cards, 2 Monarch Spawn Trap cards with different names to the graveyard, of course. But his effect is different. Once he's tribute summoned, you send those 2 different names. You get a special summon a monster from the deck. And a monster that you want to preferably summon is, of course, Erebus, which applies more damage on the board, which is really important in this version build. You know, trying to apply monsters as much as possible is really good. And of course, Aether's second effect literally states that he basically tribute summon himself on your opponent's turn, which is really good, because you can tribute off your tribute summon monsters, you can tribute off your ideas, and you know, bringing out monsters to apply more damage on the board is really good. So that way that you get OTK by your opponent. So Aether has really good effect to do that. And of course, if you tribute off the idea will get to add Banished Spawn Trap card from your banished zone to your hand. So Aether is really good for that purpose, and she's able to apply tons of damage on the board. That's why I really love about Aether. So of course, you play the triple Aether, really self-explanatory, and next you play the Erebus. Erebus is really good, guys, especially against cards that cannot be targeted, such as Cosmic Dark Destroyer or Forerunner, or one of the big decks format. So you bring out Erebus. Erebus sends 2 cards. He literally selects a card either from your opponent's hand or on the field and return it to the deck. So basically, if you select Cosmic Dark Destroyer, it does not target, and of course Dark Destroyer will return right back into the deck. So Erebus is really good for that purpose. And his second effect is that if he's in your graveyard, you can discard Monarch Spawn Trap card from your hand to your graveyard to add back a Monarch literally from your graveyard to your hand. So Erebus is really good for that purpose as well. And another cool play that you can do with Erebus is you send Panditi. If you don't have a target when discarding with Panditi. And if you just have literally a dead Panditi in your hand, you can literally target activate Erebus effect, tribute send Panditi from your hand to the graveyard, add that back to your hand, activate Panditi to banish itself, and search triple Tenacity, reveal this card, and off Tenacity, and search another card you want to search out. So that's a cool play that you guys can do with this deck. So triple Erebus and triple Aether, which is really self-explanatory in this deck. So that's all. That's it. Now guys, now off to our one of Monarchs, guys. Look at that. You guys gotta play the old school. One Mobius, one Ryza, one Thessalos, really good. The card's amazing. One Thessalos, and of course one Kai's the Shadow Monarch. You cannot play a Monarch deck without Kai's. You guys all know that. Kai's is absolutely amazing. This card is phenomenal. I'm so sorry for the glare over there, guys. I'll try to put my hand over there so that way that the glare doesn't really hurt you guys. So basically, Kai's has a really good effect. When he's tribute summon, you get to banish a card. If it's a dark monster, your opponent loses 1,000 life points. Thessalos is amazing for that purpose as well. When he's tribute summon, he gets to discard a random card from your opponent's hand. Then if it's a monster, your opponent gets to basically lose 100 life points per star, per original level of that monster. Ryza is amazing for that purpose as well. Basically, when he's tribute summon, he gets to return a card to the top of your deck. So it basically stuns your opponent for a turn. It slows down your opponent for a turn. And Mobius is really good since, of course, he's the only back row destruction of the deck aside from Erebus. So Mobius is really good since he's able to pop 2 back row on the field. So this card is amazing. So that's pretty much it for one-ofs of our, our tribute fodder of the deck. So let me put it over there, guys. Put it up there. So yep, so that's pretty much it. And next you want to play, of course, triple Idea, really self-explanatory. Tutors out your Eidos, really amazing. Idea is really good. Basically, when Idea is normal summon or special summon, you get to special summon a Vassal or a Squire monster from your deck. So you basically either can special summon the Eidos. Eidos is really good since it grants you another additional normal summon, which is really nice, especially with Idea, Eidos, and goes into Erebus is amazing as well. So it's really good. Next you play, of course, other vassals. You play, of course, one Landrobe. Landrobe is really good, surprisingly. This card is absolutely amazing. If this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up monster your opponent control, and you can literally put that monster face down and special summon this card. And then you special summon this card, and then at this point you can use him as free tribute fodder, which is really good. So at this point what you can do is that you can bait out your opponent's Cyber Dragon Infinity. What you can do is that you can flip down, face down, you can activate a card your opponent's forced to negate. Let's say they're forced to negate your Panditi. Activate Landrobe's effect, flip Infinity face down, and you can if you have a Stormforth, you can activate Stormforth to tribute off the Infinity and things like that. So Landrobe is really good for that purpose. He flips monster face down, problematic monsters such as Naturi Beast as well. If your opponent has a face on Naturi Beast, boom, sorry, Landrobe saves the day, puts Naturi Beast face down, which is really good. So one Landrobe is amazing for that purpose. And of course, once he's tribute summoned, he gets to add basically an 800 attack and 1,000 defense monster from your graveyard to your hand. So you can add back an Idea, you can add back an Eidos. Really good. Next, of course, we want to play the Brilliantly, the Firestorm Vassal. This card is amazing as well. Before I was playing multiple copies of Brilliantly because I thought that his effect banishes a card forever. So he basically has an effect where when he's tribute summon, you get to banish a card from your opponent's hand, but it's only until the end phase. So his effect is okay, is mediocre at best. But when I was reading his effect, I never read the per turn effect. So I was like, this card is phenomenal. Like, whoa, this card banishes card from the hand. But then I reread it, and of course, like, you know what, I gotta take it out for the Landrobe. So Landrobe is really good. So you're playing, of course, the one Burning Lift. And last but not least, you want to play the one Mithra, the Thunder Vassal. This card is amazing. So basically, he's literally a free summon to on your side of the field. So he's used it as a tribute fodder. And then he gets a special summon token to your opponent's side of the field. And that token can be used with your Stormforts or things like that, which is really good. And once he's tribute summoned, you get an extra tribute summon this turn. So Mithra is really amazing for that purpose. So that's pretty much it for our small guys. That's all of the small guys you play. Yep, and last but not least, for our Monster Hub, you play, of course, one Mathman. Mathematician is really amazing. I'm super glad that this card came in his deck. It's super amazing. It's super, I kind of like the Secret better, of course, but Mathman is always good to have in his deck. It gives you an extra +1 if it dies, and of course, it sends your Idea to the graveyard. Since you don't play Reinforce with the army in this deck at all, you can literally send Idea to the graveyard, or you can even send an Erebus to the graveyard to add himself back to hand by sending a card. So Mathman is really good for that purpose, and you send Idea to the graveyard, Idea gets to add, of course, a Banish Spawn Trap card from your Banish Stone to your hand. So Mathman is amazing for that purpose. I dropped my Mathman. Look at that. of course. So one Math Man to run off our monster lineup. That's pretty much it. Yep. For our monsters. Trust you guys, try this deck. This deck is actually really amazing. Yep, and it's super budget friendly as well. Now off to our spell lineup. Panthesium, amazing. Draw power of the deck. You actually want to play Triple Return of the Monarchs. This card is absolutely amazing. Card is so good, especially in this version of the build. You play so many tribute fodders, such as, you play Ryza, you play Mobius, you play Caius, you play all these cards. So once you tribute summon something, even during either player's turn or on your turn, you get to add basically a 2400 attack or 2800 attack Monarch from your deck to your hand. So Return of the Monarch basically adds tons and tons of consistency from your deck to your hand. So that's what I really, really love about this deck. And this deck, you want to see your tribute summon monsters as much as possible. So Return of Monarchs helps you get into that. That's why I really, really like. Next, you play, of course, the Triple Tenacity, literally the reinforcement army of the deck. Really, really good. Next, you play, of course, Triple Domain of the Monarchs. This card, Domain of the True Monarchs. This card is phenomenal, especially against the meta right now, which makes this deck super, super amazing. That's why I suggest you guys pick up 3 copies of this deck. You don't need an extra deck at all. And you have a card like Domain, which wrecks the entire format. Basically, Domain has the effect where it can reduce a level 8 monster in your hand by 2 levels. That means that you can just require one additional summon, which is really, really good. So Domain literally lets your big monsters be tributed by tributing only one monster. So Domain is really good for that purpose. And once you control an extra deck, a tribute summon monster, and your opponent doesn't, your opponent cannot utilize their extra deck at all. So Domain is amazing for that purpose. And don't forget his effect when your Monarch monsters attack during the damage steps, they gain 800 attack. So really, really good. And next you play, of course, Triple the Monarch Stormforth. This card's amazing. Tributing off your opponent monster and tributing off monsters during the mirror match is absolutely amazing as well. So this card is really, really great. Triple Stormforth, it helps you gets rid of course, a Cause of Dark Destroyer or things like that. So the Monarch Stormforth is absolutely amazing for that purpose. Next you play the March of the Monarchs, assuming that we're going to play a lot of rogue, a lot of decks that play back roll, such as Mirror Force or things like that. The March of the Monarchs is really amazing for that purpose, since it protects your Monarch's monsters from being destroyed by card effects or being targeted by card effects. And especially against this deck, you have big beaters such as Aether and Erebus. So the only way that while you have this card on board is for them to run over it, which is going to be pretty hard, since you have cards like Domain to boost it up, and of course you have a big beater, which is 2800, which is really hard to get over with. So March of the Monarchs is really, really amazing for that purpose. So you want to play double March of the Monarchs. And last but not least, since this deck comes with Soul Charge, I was like, you know what, I might as well put Soul Charge in here. This card is absolutely amazing, especially during late game situation. You're able to revive back, Idea's effect with trigger, Eidos effects with trigger. What is it called? You can also always add back and special summon back an Aether or Erebus to just apply more pressure on board. Soul Charge is really amazing for that purpose. Really, really love Soul Charge. Really such an amazing card, especially in this deck. And for a budget friendly version, this card can't go wrong. So one Soul Charge to round off our spell lineup. That's pretty much it for our spells. Now off to our traps. You only play 3 traps anyways. Of course, you want to play double Prime the Monarchs. The Prime Monarchs, this card is absolutely amazing. Basically, he's a free tribute fodder in the deck. And what I would recommend you guys is that I would only recommend using one as a special summon in the graveyard. I would always recommend having a second one as your set, because this card is amazing when it's set, because it's able to recycle back your Monarch spawn traps every turn, and it's able to gain you advantage every single turn. So this card literally helps you dig deeper into your bigger Monarchs or your spawn trap cards or things like that. And this card is literally like a spell book of towers, essentially, by adding cards from your graveyard into the deck is really, really good. So the Prime Monarch is amazing for that purpose, and of course he's literally used as a free tribute fodder. So yeah, next card you want to play one Escalation of Monarchs. I wanted to play multiple copies of this card, but I figured out that you only need one to resolve anyways. You have cards like Tenacity to search out this card, so you only need one anyways. If you have multiple copies of this card becomes dead in the deck. It's not that good. But you know what? One copy is definitely more than enough. So that's pretty much it for all my deck, guys. 3 traps you play. This is the deck list that I have for you guys today. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. Guys, you know what? If you guys love me doing budget deck profile like this and me explain to you guys one of some of the card choices why I play in this budget deck profile, let's do it, guys. You want here? Let's do one test hand. Let's see how good my luck is. Okay, let's go. Draw. Okay, so you got a Vassal, Tenacity, Domain, Panditi, and of course, this is a really great hand. This is a great hand actually. Okay, so assuming you're gonna go first. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna activate Tenacity. No. Okay, no. Let's do Panditi first. You're gonna activate Panditi. Send these to the grave. 2 cards. Okay, that's great. Oh, that's good. That's good. Now you can activate Panditi's effect. Banish Panditi. let's add this. Let's add this. Let's do another Panditi. Let's do another Panditi. Because honestly, I love sacking, guys. You don't understand. Sacking is my life. Sacking cards is my life. Okay. And it doesn't matter. Let's say they choose a Tenacity. Doesn't matter. More than likely, if they see this, they already know that you're gonna search a Panthesium anyways. So yeah, you're gonna add a Panditi to your hand. Alright, more cards. Good, it's a great hand. Okay, what you can do at this point is you can activate Panditi, send March with the Monarch to the graveyard. Draw 2 cards. Okay, this is a good hand. Good, this is okay. Now you're gonna activate Tenacity's effect. Reveal Erebus. This is a great hand, guys. Great hand. I love this hand. Okay. Get a domain. Get domain. Yeah, get a domain. Activate domain. Activate domain's effect. Make this card becomes level 6. Activate this card's effect to send a friggin' Aether to the graveyard. Okay, send Aether to the graveyard. Special summon this card out. Tribute summon this card. Special summon Erebus. Erebus is gonna activate its effect to send a card, banish, send a card directly from the deck to the directly from your hand to the deck, and then of course, Bernalith is gonna banish a card from your opponent's hand, but only till the end phase. At this point, your opponent cannot utilize the extra deck, and of course, next turn, what you can basically do is that you have another Panditi in the graveyard, and of course, during your opponent's turn, you have an Aether to tribute summon this card. Oh no, and what's really good about this is that I forgot to send, so you can send this. Send the Prime. Oh, this is really good. It's already good already. And you can send any. Let's say you send a domain. Doesn't really matter what you send to the graveyard. At this point, during your opponent's turn, what you can do is that if your opponent tries to destroy this, you can always tribute, activate its effect, banish, what is it called? Banish something. Banish a spawn trap card from their graveyard, special summon this card, and just go off and things like that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video 100+ likes. And this is Sam from Team Sam signing out. Peace out.